Hello, Mike Starks with Remax Town & Country here, bringing you the 2021 third quarter real estate market report for Gillespie County and Fredericksburg, Texas. And as I'm sure most of you who get bored enough to watch these on a regular basis remembers, the first half of the year had really been strong, and we were expecting a really strong second half of the year. And so far, we're really right on target with a very, very active third quarter. So as usual, let's just start by talking about the total sales in Gillespie County. For the third quarter of 2020, we'd sold about $135 million, and for the third quarter of 2021, we sold a little over $143 million. So we've had an increase of about 5.3% in total dollar sales throughout the county, so really a healthy third quarter. And you combine that with just the crazy first half of the year's numbers, and you look at our year-to-date numbers for all the sales in Gillespie County. So from January to September of this year, we've sold about $404 million, and you compare that to the first three quarters of 2020, where we'd sold $264 million. That's an astonishing 44.7% increase over last year's record. And we still have 3 months to go. So I think it's safe to say that we're really going to see some record sales by the end of this year. That said, we actually did see a little bit of a slight decrease in the total number of properties that sold in the third quarter of this year. In 2020, we'd sold 237 individual properties, and in the third quarter of this year, we've sold 221 individual properties. So the number of actual closings in the third quarter this year dropped by about 7.6%. So even though we've sold a lot more in dollars, we've sold a few less properties, and that's a trend I think we're going to continue to see into the fourth quarter of this year. But let's move into in-town home sales, and here we're talking about homes in the Fredericksburg city limits. I'm sure it will come as no surprise that segment of the market has just been red hot for years, and this year is definitely continuing that. So for 2020, that's January to December, all of 2020, we sold $149 million, almost $150 million in total sales for homes in town. In just the first 9 months of this year, we've already sold $151 million. So we're already ahead of total dollar sales, and we still have 3 months to go. And of course, with all that demand, we've seen very strong appreciation rates again this year. So as you might remember, we ended 2020 with an average home price of $457,304. And as of September 30th of this year, the average home price in the city limits of Fredericksburg has jumped to $547,284. So that's an increase of 15.5%. And if we look a little bit deeper at the average price per foot, we'll see the similar rise. At the end of 2020, the average price per foot was $237.30. At the end of the third quarter of this year, we're at $292.75 a square foot. So that's an increase of 19%. However, as strong as demand has been, I think the fourth quarter of this year, we may see a little bit of a pullback in the number of homes being sold versus last year, for a couple of reasons. First, we're really just kind of starting to see more and more price resistance from buyers. And what I mean by that, like as I just mentioned, the current average sold price for home in Fredericksburg is $547,000, but the current average asking price of a home in Fredericksburg right now is $742,000. So the average asking price is 36.2% more than any comparable sale would support, and that's 55% higher than the average home price just a year ago. So that's starting to slow things down a little bit. And because of this, we were already seeing a little bit more of a rise in inventory in town. And then the second factor that I think is going to kind of drag on in-town home sales this year, at the fourth quarter anyway, is going to be the city's proposed ordinance on STRs. There's a lot of uncertainty of what will happen if this ordinance passes, exactly how these new rules are going to be applied. And, from what I've seen and heard, this has really put the brakes on a lot of investment activity in Fredericksburg right now. I've had at least a dozen agents tell me that they've had clients' homes under contract, but when these strict new ordinances came out, the buyers got nervous and backed out of the contract because there's just, the city's caused a lot of uncertainty. But that said, I really don't think we're going to see any huge reduction in the sales volume for the fourth quarter. I think we may just see a few less sales, and we will likely see some modest appreciation continue into the next year, just maybe not at the exaggerated rates that some sellers are hoping for right now. So moving on to land sales. Again, some really strong numbers here. If we look at all the raw land sales in Gillespie County for 2020, we sold $102 million. And then if we just look at the first 9 months of this year, we sold $109 million. So just like in-town homes, we're already ahead of last year's record sales. Now, unlike in-town home sales, I really don't see anything slowing down the raw land market right now, except maybe a lack of inventory. Like right now, we actually have more homes in the city limits for sale than we have raw land tracts out in the county for sale. But anyway, getting to prices, the average price, is just continuing to slide up. We ended 2020 with an average price for the entire county of $13,508 per acre. And so far this year, we are at an average price per acre of $19,963. So that's a whopping 42.3% jump. But there's a lot of factors in there, including that we haven't sold just a whole bunch of bigger ranch sales, which usually kind of brings that average down. But nonetheless, land is in demand in Gillespie County. And just so you know, I no longer include any sales on Highway 290 East in these raw land figures because that's just become too much like commercial. So to give you the breakdown for the average price per acre for the third quarter with each segment, we've got 1 to 5 acres with an average of $56,652, 6 to 10 acres coming in with an average price per acre of $29,595, 11 to 25 acres, $23,477, 26 to 50 acres, $23,822, 51 to 100 acres, $15,943, 100 to 250 acres, we're averaging $13,785 per acre. And for 250 plus acres, the average right now this year is $6,140 per acre. But that's only one sale, so not a big sampling there. And if you're curious, the prices on Highway 290 East, the average price per acre right now there is $40,945 per acre. So what is the real surprise here is just how strong the 25 plus acre segment of the raw land market is right now. In years past, once you went over 25 acres, you really saw more of a decrease in the price per acre going down. But right now demand is high, and even the larger tracts are demanding a premium. City lots also seeing an extremely good year. We've sold 104 city lots in the first 3 quarters of this year, with an average sold price of $93,026 for a city lot. You compare that to just a year ago when the average lot price was $77,942. And right now we only have 11 lots in the city for sale. So, supply and demand showing up there. And of course, we have a lot of new subdivisions in the works, and many of them are aiming for more affordable housing. But by this time next year, I think the city lot sales things will look a whole lot different than it does right now. Commercial transactions this year also are way up, showing a 62% increase in total dollar sales over the first 9 months of this year compared to all of 2020. So again, some record numbers coming in there. So just kind of wrap it up, it looks like the fourth quarter demand will remain really high. We may see a little bit of a slowdown due to pricing, and in-town properties will also be affected by that STR. I also think that we've probably kind of seen the apex of appreciation rates. I'm not saying I think we're going to be going down. I just don't think we're going to be seeing the 15% to 20% appreciation over the next 9 months like we've seen in the past. Instead of going like this, maybe we're going to go more like this, which, I think is healthy, because going 15 to 20% in such a short time is just not healthy for the market. So overall, I think the end of the year will finish strong. We'll certainly be setting some records for total real estate sales. But, with buyers becoming a little more cautious on the purchases, we may see a few less sales. So I guess that's it for the third quarter market report. If you're interested, you can look at all these facts and figures on my site at mikestarks.com under the information tab. And as always, thanks for watching.